there is a silent power that changes everything, and most people never use it. It's not luck, it's not privilege, it's not waiting for permission. It's the moment you decide to act as if your success is inevitable. Because life responds not to what you wish for, but to what you expect, what you embody, and what you move toward without hesitation. The truth is, no one arrives confident. Confidence is built after you start acting like you belong. No one feels ready. Readiness is created while you move. The world does not hand opportunities to those who doubt themselves quietly. It opens doors who walk as if the door was already meant for them. When you act as if your voice matters, people listen. When you act as if your dreams are valid, resources appear. When you act as if failure is not an option, obstacles turn into instructions. Life is always watching how seriously you take yourself. Think about it. Every breakthrough begins with an internal decision, a decision to stop shrinking, a decision to stop explaining your work, a decision to stop asking, what if it doesn't work? And start asking, what if it does? Acting as if is not pretending. It is alignment. You are not lying to the world. You are catching up to who you already are inside. There will be moments when fear shows up. Let it. Courage was never the absence of fear. It was the refusal to let fear decide your future. You keep showing up. You keep speaking. You keep moving. Not because you are fearless, but because you are committed. Life tests clarity. When you are unsure, it sends confusion. When you hesitate, it sends delays, but when you stand firm, life adjusts because energy follows certainty. The moment you stop negotiating with your own dreams, the universe stops testing your resolve. When you carry yourself like someone who knows where they're going, even if the path isn't clear yet, life rearranges itself to meet you. So walk like it's possible, speak like it's yours, work like it's inevitable. Because when you act as if, life has no option but to deliver. Most people misunderstand confidence. They believe it is something you must feel before you act. They believe one day they will wake up fearless, ready, and certain, and only then will they take bold steps. This belief keeps millions of people trapped in waiting mode. The truth is simple but uncomfortable. Confidence is not the starting point. Confidence is the reward for action. Confidence is built through repetition, through exposure, through choosing movement even when doubt is loud. When you act as if you are not pretending to be someone else, you are allowing yourself to grow into the person you already have potential to become. Acting as if is an internal agreement that says, I may not feel ready, but I am willing to move anyway. The human mind does not respond to words. It responds to behavior. You can tell yourself positive affirmations all day, but if your actions stay small, your mind will not believe you. However, the moment you take action, your mind starts collecting evidence. Evidence that you showed up, evidence that you survived discomfort, evidence that you didn't fall apart. That evidence slowly replaces self-doubt with self-trust. Confidence is not the absence of fear, it is the presence of courage. Fear will always exist when you are growing. Acting as if teaches you that fat does not mean stop. Fear means expand. Each time you move forward while afraid, you weaken fear's authority over you. Fear loses its power when it realizes you will act regardless. Think about any skill you admire, speaking, leading, creating, deciding. No one started confident. They started clumsy, unsure, and uncomfortable. Confidence appeared only after repeated exposure. Acting as if accelerates this process because it forces you into real world feedback instead of imaginary outcomes. Reality is always kinder than fear's imagination. When you delay action waiting for confidence, you unknowingly train your mind to associate fear with danger. Avoidance strengthens insecurity. But when you act, even imperfectly, you teach your nervous system a new lesson. I can handle this. That lesson becomes the foundation of confidence. Acting as if also changes how the world responds to you. People react to energy before results. When you move with intention, when you speak with belief, when you carry yourself with quiet certainty, doors open faster. Opportunities flow toward those who act decisively, not those who wait for reassurance. Confidence is not loud, it is grounded. It is built through self-respect, and self-respect is built when your actions align with your values, not your fears. Each time you keep a promise to yourself, no matter how small, confidence grows. Acting as if is the practice of keeping those promises daily. Many people think they lack confidence, but what they truly lack is momentum. Momentum creates belief. Belief creates consistency. Consistency creates mastery. Acting as if is the spark that starts this chain reaction. You don't need to feel strong to stand up straight. You don't need to feel brave to take the first step. You don't need to feel confident to begin. You begin and confidence follows. That is the order. That has always been the order. So stop waiting for permission from your emotions. They will catch up later. Act like the person you are becoming. Speak like you belong. Move like progress is inevitable. Confidence will meet you there, because the moment you act as if, your mind adapts, your energy shifts, and life responds. Life has a strange but consistent pattern. It does not move in favor of those who wait endlessly. It responds to those who decide. Hesitation sends mixed signals. Certainty sends direction. When you are unsure about yourself, life mirrors that uncertainty back to you through delays, confusion, and missed opportunities. But when you stand firm in your decision, even without knowing every step, life begins to rearrange itself to support your movement. Certainty is not knowing every answer. It is choosing a direction and committing to it fully. Many people believe they need clarity before they act, but clarity often comes after commitment. The moment you decide, energy shifts. Your focus sharpens, your actions align, and distractions lose their power. Life recognizes that focus and responds. Hesitation is costly. Each time you delay a decision out of fear, you teach yourself to doubt your own instincts. Over time, that doubt becomes a habit. Certainty, on the other hand, strengthens self-trust. When you decide and move forward, you prove to yourself that you are capable of leading your own life. That inner leadership changes everything. Life does not test wishful thinking, it tests resolve. When you are half in, you attract half results. When you keep one foot in safety and one foot in possibility, progress stalls. Certainty requires you to choose fully, to burn the escape routes, to stop negotiating with fear. That level of commitment forces life to respond. Opportunities often appear only after decision. Resources, people, and timing align once movement begins. When you hesitate, you remain invisible to possibility. When you commit, you become visible. The world supports motion, not intention. Certainty also simplifies life. When you know what you stand for, decisions become easier. You stop chasing everything and start choosing what aligns. This clarity reduces anxiety because confusion comes from too many open doors. Certainty closes the wrong doors so the right ones can open. Fear will try to disguise itself as logic. It will tell you to wait, to be realistic, to be careful. But growth rarely happens in comfort. Certainty does not mean recklessness. It means trusting yourself enough to move without guarantees. Every meaningful transformation requires this trust. When you hesitate, life hesitates with you. When you commit, life commits back. This is not coincidence, it is cause and effect. Your inner state determines your external experience. Certainty sends a clear signal, I am ready to receive. Hesitation sends noise. People are drawn to certainty. They feel safe around those who know where they're going. Leaders, creators, and change makers are not those with all the answers. They're those willing to decide and adjust along the way. Certainty builds momentum. Momentum builds results. You don't need perfect conditions to decide. Conditions improve because of decision. Waiting for the right time keeps you stuck in the wrong place. Certainty creates the right time. So choose Choose direction over delay, commitment over comfort, belief over doubt. Even if you adjust later, decide now. Life will not meet you halfway. It meets you at the point of commitment. Because when you stand certain, life has no choice but to respond. Fear is a constant companion in any journey worth taking. It is not a sign that you are doing something wrong. It is proof that you are stepping beyond your comfort zone, beyond the familiar, and into growth. Most people misunderstand fear. They think that to act bravely, fear must vanish. But the truth is, fear never fully disappears. It will always appear at critical moments, at thresholds where your potential expands. The difference between those who succeed and those who remain stuck is not the absence of fear, it is the strength of their commitment despite it. Every time you feel fear, you are being tested. Fear is a messenger, not an enemy. It shows up to see if you will let it decide your life. Many people retreat when they feel it. They step back, they delay, they rationalize, thinking, I will wait until I feel safe, until I feel ready, until fear leaves me alone. But fear never leaves those who chase greatness. It only leaves those who avoid it. If you want growth, you must learn to move with fear, not without it. Commitment is the antidote to fear. When your commitment is stronger than the voice of doubt in your mind, fear loses control. Commitment is an internal fire that burns through hesitation. It is the promise you make to yourself that no matter how uncomfortable, you will continue forward. Each time you honor that commitment, you build trust in yourself. That trust becomes armor, and the next time fear shows up, it no longer paralyzes you. It may whisper, it may intimidate, but it cannot stop you. Think about how fear operates. Fear tries to make the unknown feel like danger. It exaggerates risks, it magnifies consequences, it convinces you to play small, but action reveals reality. When you move despite fear, you discover that most fears are illusions, projections of what could go wrong rather than facts. Action transforms fear from a barrier into a teacher, from a stop sign into a guidepost. Fear will try to disguise itself in excuses, distractions, and over-analysis. It will tell you to wait, to be cautious, to play it safe. But commitment refuses negotiation. Commitment means taking the first step even when the path isn't clear, speaking your truth even when your voice shakes, continuing your journey even when doubts try to pull you back. Every small act of courage compounds, and soon fear becomes smaller in comparison to your momentum. When you act despite fear, life begins to respond. People respect those who step forward even with trembling hands. Opportunities appear when you refuse to shrink. Momentum is born not from comfort, but from persistence in the face of fear. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is persistence when fear is present. That is the principle behind every great achievement in human history. Commitment also gives you clarity. Fear thrives on uncertainty, it feeds on indecision, it grows when you hesitate. But when you commit, you send a clear signal to yourself and to the universe, I am moving forward no matter what. That clarity focuses your energy, strengthens your resolve, and attracts the resources you need. Life moves to meet determined action. Remember, fear is inevitable, failure is possible, but retreat is optional. Every time fear shows up, choose commitment instead of hesitation. Move forward with the understanding that fear will exist, but it will not control you. That is the essence of courage. So the next time fear appears, welcome it, acknowledge it, and act anyway. Let your commitment be louder than the voice of doubt. Keep moving. Keep trying, keep stepping forward, because when commitment overpowers fear, life has no choice but to follow your lead. Many people misunderstand the idea of acting as if. They think it means pretending, faking confidence, or wearing a mask until someone notices. But true acting as if is not pretending, it is alignment. It is showing up fully as the person you are destined to become, even before the world confirms it. It is not about illusion. It is about preparation, embodiment, and belief. It is about stepping into your potential before the results arrive. Alignment begins with clarity about who you want to be. You cannot align with success if you do not know what success looks like for you. Take the time to define your vision, to articulate your goals, to imagine the life you want to live. Once that clarity exists, your actions can mirror your vision. You begin to move, speak, and think in ways that are consistent with the person you are becoming. That alignment is what triggers life to respond. When you act as if you are already capable, you stop waiting for permission from circumstances, from people, or from the universe. You stop negotiating with fear or with doubt. You embody the mindset, habits, and energy of someone who has already achieved what you are pursuing. This does not mean arrogance or entitlement. It means readiness, presence, and authenticity. Life responds to energy, and the energy of alignment attracts opportunity. Alignment also means prioritizing your actions. Every decision, every choice, every effort should be consistent with your vision of success. You no longer waste energy on distractions or meaningless pursuits. You act deliberately, you act with intention. Even when the path is uncertain, alignment keeps you moving in the right direction. Momentum builds, and momentum is the language the world understands. The difference between pretending and alignment is subtle but powerful. Pretending creates tension, inconsistency, and insecurity because it is not grounded in reality. Alignment creates confidence, authenticity, and magnetism because it is rooted in the truth of who you are becoming. When you align, the world senses it. People are drawn to aligned energy. Opportunities appear in unexpected ways. Doors open and guidance shows up. Think about the way professional athletes or successful leaders operate. They do not wait until they feel perfect or until all circumstances are ideal before they act. They align their habits, mindset, and energy with their goals. They practice, they prepare, and they perform consistently. That alignment compounds over time, producing results that appear effortless, but are actually the result of deliberate alignment. Alignment requires consistency. It is not a one-time action, it is a daily practice. Each morning, you remind yourself of your vision, you embody the energy of your future self, and you take actions that reflect that vision. Over time, alignment becomes a habit, and habits shape your identity. Acting as if then becomes second nature, and success becomes inevitable because it is the natural outcome of your consistent alignment. Fear and doubt may still arise, but when you are aligned, they cannot derail you. Alignment gives you direction when uncertainty appears. Alignment provides focus when chaos threatens. Alignment ensures that at every step you take, no matter how small, contributes to your ultimate goal. You are no longer moving randomly or hoping for luck. You're moving purposefully, and life responds to purposeful movement. So stop pretending, stop faking, stop waiting for confirmation from the world. Align your thoughts, your words, and your actions with the person you are destined to become. Step into your vision even before results appear. Embody the habits, mindset, and energy of your success today. Because when you align fully, life has no option but to deliver. Doubt is one of the heaviest chains we carry. It is the silent voice that whispers, maybe you're not ready, maybe this isn't for you, maybe you will fail. But most people allow this voice to dictate their actions, and as a result, life continues to test them. Opportunities seem scarce, challenges feel impossible, and progress appears slow. The truth is simple: life does not test you to punish you. It tests you to measure your belief in yourself. When you stop doubting yourself, the tests stop becoming obstacles, and they begin to transform into lessons, guidance, and confirmation that you are on the right path. Doubt thrives on indecision. Every time you hesitate, procrastinate, or second guess your worth, doubt strengthens its grip. It convinces you to wait for perfect timing, to seek permission from others, or to rely on external validation. But no one gives you permission for greatness. The world rewards those who claim it for themselves. The moment you refuse to negotiate with doubt, you shift from being a passive participant in your life to being an active creator of your reality. When you act with unwavering belief, you send a powerful signal to the universe and to yourself: I am capable, I am ready, and I am committed. Life responds to certainty, not fear. Opportunities that once seemed distant begin to appear. People notice your confidence, doors open in ways you could not have planned, and the world aligns with your vision. This is not coincidence, it is cause and effect. Your internal clarity commands external results. Self-doubt often masquerades as humility or caution. It tells you to underplay your skills, to avoid risk, and to minimize your dreams. But humility without action becomes weakness. Caution without courage becomes stagnation, and minimizing your dreams keeps you far from your true potential. Stopping doubt does not mean arrogance. It means taking full responsibility for your life and acknowledging that you are worthy of success, happiness, and abundance. Doubt also feeds fear. Fear and doubt are partners in crime. When doubt dominates, fear feels overwhelming. When doubt diminishes, fear loses its power. Acting decisively, speaking your truth, and following through on your commitments weakens doubt. Each small victory over hesitation builds momentum, and momentum transforms doubt into confidence. Life notices this energy shift and begins to meet you at your level of commitment. Think about it. The people who achieve extraordinary results are not those who feel unafraid or certain every moment. They are those who stop doubting their ability to keep going even in the face of uncertainty. They act with trust in themselves. They persevere when obstacles arise, and they keep moving when the world questions them. By refusing to doubt, they stop life from testing their limits repeatedly. Instead, life starts rewarding their persistence and belief. Stopping self-doubt also brings clarity. You no longer waste time overanalyzing decisions or questioning every step. Your energy becomes focused on action, execution, and improvement. Your mind is free to strategize and create instead of constantly questioning. The freedom that comes from trusting yourself multiplies your effectiveness exponentially, and it makes you unstoppable in ways you cannot measure at first. Remember, doubt is normal, but it is optional. You are not required to listen to it. You can acknowledge it, thank it for showing up, and then choose action anyway. Every time you move despite doubt, you reinforce the message: I am in control of my life, and I trust myself to handle what comes next. When you stop doubting yourself, you stop testing yourself unnecessarily. Life no longer has to push your hesitation to see if you are ready. Instead, it begins to move with you, to provide opportunities, and to deliver results. The energy you send internally is reflected externally. So choose belief over hesitation, commitment over uncertainty, and trust over fear. Stand firm in your capability, act boldly, and let doubt shrink in the shadow of your persistence. Because when you stop doubting yourself, life has no choice but to align with your vision. When you act as if your success is inevitable, life responds in ways that words alone cannot describe. This is not about pretending, forcing, or faking confidence. It is about alignment, commitment, and clarity. It is about stepping fully into the energy of the person you are meant to become, even before the results appear. Every keynote we discussed, building confidence through action, moving with certainty, overpowering fear with commitment, aligning your actions with your vision, and eliminating self-doubt forms a blueprint for transformation. Life always mirrors the energy you carry. Hesitation attracts delays, doubt invites tests, and fear magnifies obstacles. But when you act as if, when you move with clarity, courage, and unwavering belief, life rearranges itself to support you. Doors open, opportunities appear, and momentum grows. Success is no longer a distant possibility. It becomes a natural consequence of your consistent alignment and persistent action. Remember, you do not wait for permission, you do not wait for fear to vanish, and you do not wait to feel ready. You step forward anyway. You embody the habits, mindset, and energy of your future self today. Each action compounds, each step strengthens self-trust, and each moment of courage teaches life that you are ready to receive. The power lies not in luck, timing, or circumstance. It lies within you. When you act as if life has no option but to deliver, your path becomes clear, your purpose becomes undeniable, and your potential becomes inevitable. So move boldly, speak confidently, act decisively, and trust in the person you are becoming. Life is waiting to meet your certainty. All you have to do is show up fully, without hesitation, without doubt, and without fear. Because when you act as if there truly is no option but for life to deliver,